I've been looking to talk about this for forever, so thank you, Has the Best, for asking this question, because now I have an excuse. So why do I do this? Science? Yes. Art? Also yes. Spirituality? Yes. Funsies? Oh, yes. Let me back up. I was a simple kid with simple passions. Art and animals. And not much about that has changed. But whenever I told adults I want to be a vet one day, they'd say, "But could you euthanize an animal?" And I'd be like, "I'm 7. So that dream didn't come to fruition, and instead it manifested itself in a way that they probably never expected. Story time. When I was 16, I was walking along the side of a road and I found a deer skull. And I thought to myself how sad it was that that deer was hit by a cart and then just tossed to the side of the road to rot and be completely forgotten about. So I took it home. And I painted it. And it's not the best art, but it was my first. And everyone reacted how I would expect. A lot of, "That's weird, that's gross." But this time they weren't going to take that away from me. It was weird, and I didn't care anymore. I started learning everything I could about death positivity. I wanted to understand why we reacted the way that we did to death. It's scary, but it's inevitable. And so the longer that you avoid thinking about it, the scarier it becomes when it's down to the final moments. On the other hand, if you learn to accept death before those moments happen, then you're able to appreciate life a little bit more. The butterflies that I work with may only live for a few weeks. They are fragile and they are temporary, and so are we. So when we walk the earth, no matter how short of a time that may be, it's a gift. The chances of you and another creature, she sees a squirrel right now, being on the same planet at the same time, living life together, is just a little more meaningful. And yeah, there's a lot of science to it that I find very interesting. And at some point I realized that I wanted to get closer to death so that I could appreciate life more, and maybe in turn help others do the same. So I started studying, like a lot. I enrolled in a mortuary science program and started volunteering at a hospice with the goal of eventually becoming a death doula. The way I see it, death is a transition. And it's scary because there's a lot that we don't understand about that transition. But what we do understand about it can be enough. Things are temporary. That is beautiful. The moments that we have with each other matter. Every day matters. Death is scary when you only think about it when it's knocking on your door. It doesn't have to be quite as scary as we make it. A lot of the time when people first see my art, their very first reaction is to be a little taken aback. That's okay. It's confronting. It should be. It's supposed to spark a conversation. Death is a reminder to remember life. So that's why I do what I do, because I'm a sap and a nerd.